I'll be this choppy. This isn't going to be good if it's this choppy. Testing. Can you see anything?
No.
I've been live for 20 seconds. Yeah, I think I am still quite choppy. I mean, if this doesn't, if I can't get this to work, I'll just do something when I get back home. I mean, we're going to do something with Paul anyway.
Right.
Or maybe if I can get it working, I'll do something tonight, but I don't know.
So I have...
Right, reset, go on there.
Oh, yeah.
Hi there, right.
Okay.
Mike, can you just tell me if you can hear anything?
Yes, we're live and we're with sound.
They are with sound?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so how do I view chat? I like move microphone. Okay, right, how are we doing this? Somehow get this in with Hilmar, come on. All right, so people are saying they can hear it in Hilmar. Right, okay. Right, everyone, this is very, for whatever reason, the camera is only doing so well. I'm having to basically do this on YouTube live streaming because for some reason StreamYard won't detect my microphone. So on this tablet, because I'm literally just using the tablet. But I've managed to convince Hilmar to basically join me on here and not let him sleep or anything like that.
Well, it was either that or sit quiet for 30 minutes. I was not going to do that. You know that I can't sit quiet for 5.
True, that was fine. Maybe I can bring this a little bit over so you're not quite in the corner of the screen, so weirdly, but yeah. So, yeah, the sound should be all right. So it looks like it is working. This is literally just an impromptu live thing. So maybe I'll do something about it during the week, or maybe this will be the only one, but I just wanted to get something out because everybody else is doing vlogs, and I tried to do one in previous years and it worked a lot better and a lot smoother. Unfortunately, I'm a little unprepared for this one, so I'm literally just doing this on the fly. But yeah, we've done 2 days of Essen. That includes half a day of demoing for both of us, hence the somewhat, you won't be able to see, but yeah, Flat River Group demo team. So we have done some work on there. But yeah, that was good fun today. So we basically just demoing a game each. You had Brussels 1893.
Yep.
And I had Pyramido, and we're doing that again from tomorrow 2:30 till 7. So we are going to be demoing again.
Yep.
But other than that, demos and games all around. I haven't had any meetings or anything like that. But yeah, if you're watching this stream, then thanks for it. This is literally just going to be on the fly, maybe 30 minutes or so. We're not going to do this for very long. I can see the chat pop up on the left, so that's not too bad. And no, we're not picking up any Concordia stuff. That is not happening.
Well, I did.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Of course you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course.
Because you like bad games.
Concordia is a great game.
No, not Concordia, not Discordia, not whatever, any Concordia.
You know what is the biggest disappointment for this Essen?
You. What? No.
No. It's the fact that Great Western Trail New Zealand isn't available in English.
And?
I am literally crying in my pillow each night.
Why is that a disappointment?
It's a real disappointment.
So
it's a great game.
That's what you're crying about at night.
Yes.
You going on about that? No, don't worry. Paul got Concordia as well. Well, I know he did, yeah. No, I got good games. Well, I hope so. Some of them are gambles, so I don't know necessarily they are. But yeah, basically, Thursday was just basically going around demoing. So there wasn't anything. I mean, I might even delete this stream after it's like been on for a week. We'll see. I'll do a proper roundup on a podcast episode when I get back. But Thursday was just basically all demos and that, and so was Friday morning up to a point, up until we were doing that. So I haven't had any business meetings yet. That's all for Sunday, and I've certainly done my rounds buying stuff, which yes does include a certain expansion which I had to hunt down on pain of death. But saying that, firstly, well, to be fair, if you don't know Hilmar, you might as well say you are by now, because I've just randomly brought you on stream and some of these people might not know who you are.
Right. Well, hi, I'm Hilmar. I'm from Iceland. I have been Patreon for Luke for what? about 3-4 years now. No, pre-COVID.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, pre-COVID, because I talked I talked to Luke
Yeah.
to come to Midgard pre-COVID. So
Yeah, no refunds, yeah.
no, exactly. And I run a small board game website in Iceland called borðspil.is, where I write about board games in Icelandic. I put up my play diaries, and I write blogs about a lot of things regarding board games. I did quite a big blog actually about, so you're going to Essen, are you?
Yeah.
And just few tidbits about what to do, what to expect from the perspective of an Icelander.
Yeah.
So how to manage the booking of hotels, how to manage the flights, where to fly in, how to get train tickets and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, not too bad. And I say, 4 years on the trot trying to get into Midgard, or at least to get to Iceland in general. I mean, Midgard was like great and all, but I wanted to get to Iceland fast. So finally, as you lot know, I did that in September. Finally got to experience Iceland, which it definitely is high on my bucket list. Now I need to go back again and do some more of the sightseeing stuff, because I've got a taster.
Maybe you and I spent some time together, because we really couldn't this time, because there was, I was very busy, but
you were busy and I was doing I was like hanging around with like the guest stuff and also like teaching games. So but we did play some stuff together, and
we played Mosaic together. That was a great
we played
experience.
Mosaic, and you were doing like chauffeur transport for a couple of days and that, so that was good. And we had the meals out, so there was definitely some of it, but we'll have to see about like coming back. But
back to Essen.
Yeah,
we're in Essen.
We are in Essen, not Iceland.
No.
Yes, it is warmer here. A bit too warm for my liking, but it's not too bad.
For me, it's awesome.
For you, you're constantly sweating buckets because it's warmer than Iceland by miles.
Everything is warmer than Iceland except maybe Svalbard.
Possibly true, yeah. But so Hilmar and I are sharing a room, but Paul naturally travelled up with me, so Grogan has. He's in a different room. He's done his live stream, so by all means, just watch those. But this is like impromptu, and I'll sort that out when I get back. So game wise, trying to think of the best thing to do, because if I go through every single game, we're going to be here all night.
I only have 6 logged since I came here.
Oh, that you've played?
Yes, that I literally played and have. First impression opinions on.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, if you're in the chat, look, do some questions. I don't know how I can get the live chat to stay on screen.
Well, Hilmar is awesome. Thank you, Christoph.
Let's have truthful stuff in the chat now. But I don't know how to get the chat to sort of like stay on screen. That's the only thing, but we'll see. I mean, maybe.
Well, I can probably pick up my.
Oh wait, here we go. There we go. All chats are visible. Yeah. Now it's not fading away. So, what's the Mosaic base game with expansion? That was base game.
That was base game, yes. But my expansion is fulfilling, and hopefully will be there soon.
Right. Okay. So it does all all messages are visible, and then still does the fade out, which is kind of annoying. Have you played any new? Right.
Well, so we have.
Good. Yeah. Can you view it on your thing? Yeah. Yes. So if they fade away, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant idea, matey.
Yep. Oops.
That's our wine stash.
Yes. we have quite a lot of that.
Right.
Of course.
Okay, so we'll go with that. All right. Go away, pop-up messages. This is really annoying. Okay, so have you guys played Evacuation? No. We bought it.
Both of us.
But they've only got a demo table. I only bought it because everybody's asking me about it. And when it has been taught, there haven't been any slots, so I haven't been able to get into a game of it.
Paul Grogan played it last night, and I saw another playthrough of it last night.
Yeah.
Last night or day before. No, it was Wednesday night.
It's been played, but
not by either of us.
Not by either of us. I've got the game. It's in the car. It will get played eventually.
I have my copy right there.
It is pretty on the heavy side, but that one will just have to come, because they. As far as I'm aware, they don't tend to do review copies, although I beg to differ with Asmodee Nordic, but who seem to literally be able to pick up everything compared to the UK. But Yeah, for the most part, yeah, most of us haven't had a chance to play it, but it's on the list, and I hope it's good. Delicious Games and Vladimir Suhi are mostly above average for me, apart from Underwater Cities, which I do love. But I don't think he's really done a game I dislike.
You're just too picky on games. That's true. So, Michael Newsom, have you played any new Rosenberg? No. Is there any Rosenberg that is
there isn't a new one.
Not like what he has done 40 times before?
I'm not aware that there's a new Rosenberg out this year.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, unless you count Applejack, but Applejack was around last year, sort of, and I've seen some people with Applejack, and I've tried it. It's okay, but nothing special. But I don't think he's got any big belter Euro games this year.
I don't think so, no.
No. We skip over one though, Rusty Blubber. Have you seen Chip Theory Games' Elder Scrolls game? Not really.
No.
Although, to be fair, I've not actually been in their booth.
Me neither.
Because, honestly, yes, it's there and it all looks swanky, but I don't really have an interest in anything from Chip Theory right now.
In a long time, that's the first time we agree on something. But no,
nothing against Chip Theory Games, but I've got no interest in Hot Malakalas Victorious or whatever that is, the one that Mark Dainty goes on about. And Elder Scrolls may be good, but I mean, it's another expensive campaign game. And honestly, my knowledge of Elder Scrolls is limited. I've played a bit of Oblivion, I played Skyrim, and that's literally all I know. And even then, I would not be able to regurgitate any of the lore whatsoever. And the other Skyrim board game was crap. So
yeah, and to probably reveal my age here, the last computer game that I played was Let's Shoot Larry.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I can give it a look, but I don't know. I've got some time tomorrow. I'll have to have a look. Right. I will try to make it to I go past the booth and have a look inside. Where's he going?
Well, I saw a question and I am gonna answer that.
Oh, the Courtney's one. So don't worry, Rusty Blob. We'll turn that frown into a smile eventually. Was it?
Yes.
So you've played it.
I played Razzo Vista.
So you take over because I have not.
Yes. So I was able to get a demo of this game today. With this is Simone Luciani new game, and was actually quite funny. I was there just before 10, and we sat down at the table. I was solo, and there was a very nice couple from Frankfurt sitting with me at the table. But because I was solo, they moved a party of 3 to my table and moved them with some other couple. And then Simone Luciani came to teach us. And we had a blast. The people from Frankfurt did not have neither a good teach nor the best
teacher.
The best people to actually play with. Razzo Vista is a worker placement game with some there are some twists there. It has a rotating wheel, and on the wheel are 6 wedges that are randomized so that the worker placement spots, yes, right here. So the worker placement spots are actually different each time you play. And also between rounds, it will rotate, so it's never the same. You have to power your worker placement spots with worker bees or something, or worker mice.
I was going to say, they're mice. They're clearly, it's called Raptor Wisdom.
Okay, yeah. So you have to power them, and there is actually quite a neat mechanism where you are also moving them around while you are... so you're activating a power, and then you're also activating a bonus action at the same time. So it's a Luciani game. There is a lot going on.
Although he is the second name on the back. So this is the prettiest thing I've seen from Luciani. Yeah.
Yes,
which doesn't look like his style. So is it really more this guy, Danilo Sabie?
I don't know. This is saying it's a mean game is maybe a stretch.
That's definitely Simone.
That is definitely Simone. But there are some cards, and I asked actually Simone about that. There are about 8 cards in a 140 card deck that where you play the card, and it's like a catch-up mechanism. So I play down a card, and everybody that has more of this token or that token than me all lose 1 token.
I mean, it does look pretty from the board, although I think most of that is the cards. The cover is kind of selling a very different game to what it sounds like.
The player board is also really nice looking. This is, I think, I'm gonna call that this is one of the games that you really weren't expecting from Essen, and we're gonna talk about a little bit while after Essen. This is definitely better looking than Golem.
Yeah, that's not saying much.
But that's not a huge competition.
But, I mean, would this really classify as a hidden gem though? I mean, it's Simone Luciani. As soon as his name's on any box, it ain't a hidden gem anymore.
But this was not on the lists that I took a look at, where they were talking about what is the
top 10.
Top 10s.
Yeah.
It was. I think this was high, but I'm not sure it was in the top 10 though.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't like. Michael's got Spiders of Wistar would not have been a better theme because there is no way you could make them look pretty.
No.
I wouldn't go anywhere near the game.
No.
Oh, this is mean and it will give you nightmares. No, not happening.
Maybe not, but it's because it's a worker placement game, and that's the thing. Is it mean, or is it just that when you're playing a 4-player game, there's always somebody taking the spot you want to go to because your engine will work that way.
That's right. Keep the questions coming, folks. Like I say, just ask them. We'll catch up with them because we got them on his iPad.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Keep them Essen related though. Just trying to think of other things than that. I mean, did get a lot of demos done today.
Yeah.
Yesterday. Yesterday was kind of like the main time for demos when I got very lucky to do the demos and that. And the show itself, I mean, while we're waiting for some more questions to come up on that screen, the show itself has felt bigger than previous years. Certainly, I think we're catching up to that.
There are more people than last year for sure.
Yeah, but they've changed the layouts of the halls quite considerably because basically previously there was a bunch of the halls were just like 5 halls and everything was scattered around with the main players in hall 3. Now they have done it so that specific games are in certain halls, although how they say on the map, like, oh, these halls are family games, these are trading card games, these are RPGs, blah, blah, blah. I don't get that feeling as I walk around because I go around those other halls and I'm still seeing some publishers I recognize or games that blatantly aren't family. But then even then, what they've done is they put hobby games in 3 and 4, although I would say the vast majority in 3. 4 has some, but not many.
But then you have in Hall 1, you have mostly role-playing games, and then you have Osprey.
Yeah, which makes no sense. I mean, Osprey also does books, so I don't know if that's got something to do with it. But yeah, it's basically meant that everybody is hanging around Hall 3, which is good in the sense that I don't have to walk very far to get from A to B. Unfortunately, getting from A to B is rather difficult when everybody else is in Hall 3.
Exactly.
So it's a little bit
Galleria is stacked.
And we haven't even done Saturday yet. So it was already busy on Thursday. It was pretty hard to move around on Friday. Tomorrow, I expect that hall to be gridlocked.
I am so happy that I'm just demoing tomorrow.
Well, even the first half.
Well,
you join me in the second half.
I'm joining you in the second half. Yes, I'm not doing the first half. The first half, I'm hoping to get in a demo of Scholars of South Tigris and the new Ezra and Nemariah game from Garpil.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I might try getting in a demo or 2, or I might just hide somewhere and wait until it's my shift.
I was saying, okay, well, what games did you demo? Well, that's a long question. But we'll go with those.
That's a twofold question. We did, the games we are demoing.
You mean with that river?
I'm demoing Brussels 1893 Belle Epoque, which is a reprint.
But it even had a tagline. I didn't even see that tagline.
Yeah, no, because Belle Epoque is actually so it's Brussels 1893, which is a reprint of a 10-year-old game called Brussels 1893. And Belle Epoque is the expansion.
Right.
So it has expansion included. I am not demoing the expansion. I'm just demoing the base game.
Yeah.
That is enough for a lot of people. It's a long. Well, it's a 2 hour. You and I, we played it on Wednesday night.
Yes.
You had played Brussels, a long time ago.
It was one of the first beige Euros I remember playing in like the first year of gaming or something. And this was the attempt at redemption for that first time. Good.
Then we had one guy who had definitely played it before and maybe more than once, and one new guy. And I was practicing my teaching method on them. And it took us 2 hours, 5 minutes, 4-player game with the teach.
Yeah, and like I say, the three of us learned it fine. We had a couple of lookups in the book where we had to double check a few things, but
there were minor questions.
It went pretty smoothly, frankly. So
I was very lucky because on Wednesday I came in and I went to the booth of where the actual designer was.
Yeah,
and I asked him, and I got my copy from them. And then the designer himself asked me, so maybe you just want me to teach you. So I got the teach from the designer himself, which I really can't remember whose name is. But anyway, and the great thing about the game and when he was teaching me was that I thought a lot of the iconography was very intuitive. It was very much, I see this and it just works. Yeah. You have to get some explanations.
Yeah, they didn't feel too confusing.
As you get the explanations, you're like, okay, no, I can see this work here, and so I liked it. So that's what I am demoing.
Yeah, we just know that.
So what are you demoing?
I hope I can reach it. Yeah, my turn to have something on shoot. Yeah, screw you. Go away, brats of Wistar. To be fair, I would give it a shot just because of that cover, to be honest. It does look pretty.
I will teach you tomorrow.
If we get time. Yeah. I got something a little bit less known, Pyramido. I mean, granted, I asked to demo Sentinel or Spirit Island, but they haven't got either of those two there. They've only got Horizons of Spirit Island. But
those are old news, man.
Well, yeah, but they're still amazing games. But Pyramido is basically a small abstract game that they're doing. So the idea being that you build a pyramid in 4 different levels using domino tiles, where it has got a sort of king domino feel to it. Mm-hmm. And essentially, what you're doing at the end of each round is scoring for the icons that are showing as you build up through the floors. But you only score the areas that you mark with these little wooden markers, and it's essentially like, all your group of yellow, or your group of blue, and that. So, colorblind people need not apply. But it starts off fairly normal. Like, you put a bunch of tiles down and you score a few points and you get some layers down. Then before you start stage 2, you wipe off all the markers and go again, creating the next floor. But then you'll notice that the ones around the very edge are still visible, and now you're trying to connect the tiles so that the colors still group together. And at that point, because you've only got a limited selection of tiles that you can do, you end up with the situation that you start regretting your earlier turns if you haven't set a good foundation for your pyramid. And so,
oh really?
First game I didn't start off well on that front, but I still came third. So there.
Well, in a 4-player game, that is not
3 out of 4 is still considering my cock up in the first round.
Do you want me to look up the total score on it?
Well, no, I know it was a low score, but then, like I say, not coming last, given that I made such a crucial mistake, is not such a bad thing. But the game itself is deceptively clever. Everybody I've taught it to has kind of gone, "Oh, that's interesting." This is like they've clicked as to how good it can get. Like, even if I've only given them a round 2 demo, which some of them have had. But produced well, sells for about €30. The tiles are good, thick quality. It's upside down. Yeah. The tiles themselves are good quality, 30 markers and that. It's one of those simple rules but deceptively clever games. And I expected it to be rubbish when I got it.
When you started teaching on Wednesday, I was like, I'm not gonna like this. But about when we were on the second round, I was like, oh yeah, this is how it works. Yeah, this is more deep than I thought.
Yeah, the first round,
I thought it was a King Domino clone, and I rolled my eyes because why would I play this if I have King Domino?
Because I don't like glossy dominoes, but yeah, this is a fair point.
Okay. Apart from that, but I liked it. It's definitely it's a 7 for me.
Yeah,
it's a solid 7 game. This is something that I might not, take out from my mom.
No, I mean it's a good 7's kind of where I would sit as well. It's good. It does what it says on the tin. It's deceptively clever, but yeah, I'm not going to want to play it over and over again. Every now and again, I'll bring it out. Right. It is better with 2 or 3 players rather than 4, as I found out with like the demos there. It just goes a little bit quicker. But no, it does the job. But yeah, would I rather be demoing Sentinels? Oh hell yes. But I will certainly take a small abstract game over something crazy heavy otherwise.
Yes, last year you were demoing Sentinels, and I was
Spirit Island, yeah, both.
And I was demoing Coatl, the card game.
Yeah, you had not only a little rubbish card game, but also just who cares about that?
Right, exactly. Who remembers the game now?
Pecking order, right? I get the best games they have. You get Coatl, the card game.
Yeah.
All right, where we go. Basically, have you played Prototype new game in World of Canopy? Oh, I know the game he's on about, but I don't think it. I mean, if it's there, I haven't seen it.
Canopy, is that the beautiful artwork?
Canopy's the 2-player game from Weird City Games. Yeah, that beautiful artwork. Okay. There's another one coming out in that, but no, I think it's coming to Kickstarter soon, but I don't think they're there.
I haven't seen.
I haven't seen them as a booth, and I certainly haven't seen the game. Otherwise, I'd pay more attention to it. But it was on Kickstarter recently. Yeah, I mean, I think it still is. I'm not sure, but even so, what do we got?
Well, I played Cascadia Landmarks.
What is it? We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Are you tempted to visit the Into the Unknown booth, Xeon Trespass Odyssey? Well, personally, no, because I've had no knowledge or play or experience at all with Xeon Trespass Odyssey. Pretty sure you haven't either.
I'm not, and I have Frosthaven at home that I'm trying to get through. I have we're playing also Tainted Grail.
Good.
And what's the other that came after Tainted Grail?
Oathsworn?
No. The
Etherfields?
White Etherfields. So that one is waiting for me, and so I actually stayed clear of both Oathsworn.
Yeah.
And Aeons, because it's just too much. I can't, I have limited time and I have limited, player groups to play that.
Yeah, I've not gone anywhere near it. I mean, frankly, if you want to talk about Xeon Trespass Odyssey, then go talk to Paul, because
definitely, yeah, he loves that.
Ask him on one of his live streams whether he's tempted by it.
Michael, you should actually go for the new Brussels. It is. I liked it a lot, and I was very happily surprised how much. Yeah, it was better. What the hell are you mouthing? Shut your mouth.
I did shut my mouth technically.
Okay.
I was doing harmless mimes. That's fine. I must admit. Well, I mean, I was saying in the absence of other questions, I'm just trying to think. All right, well, I can invent stuff. All right, so hidden. I mentioned like Rat Superstar now. I don't think that would classify as a hidden gem.
Right.
I'm starting off this one though, so I'm starting with Hidden Gem of Essen. So a game that you didn't expect to be good, turned out to be great or so, and you reckon was like just out of nowhere. For me, that has definitely got to be Sweet Mess.
Oh yeah, definitely. I totally agree.
Sweet Mess is basically, it used to apparently be a 6-year-old Kickstarter that failed miserably. Something to do with the publisher. I can't remember if they ran away with the money or the production quality or something went wrong with this Kickstarter. This is what comments have been telling me.
There was when I was locking the game yesterday, I noticed that there was a 2022 version and then the version replayed, which is the 2023 version.
Exactly. So Sweet Mess is now being taken up by Peaker Game Studios, which is basically the spin-off lighter games from Fantasia Games, who are doing Unconscious Minded in this winter. And the idea with it is that it's a bakery theme where, you're pastry chefs trying to like win a competition. the best way to describe it is that it's if you took the game Splendor, add about 2 levels of meat to it, even though it's a baking game,
and a little bit of theme,
and a bit of theme, and up the production quality threefold from what was already pretty impressive. Sweet Mess is a big box with a fairly simple game in it, but it's €50 for the deluxe box, and it was only 10 extra for a playmat. So this was €50-€60, which is pretty much the going price for anything even remotely small box there, for something that had some of the best components I've seen in a while for that price point, because it gives you individual player trays with places to put poker chips for all the ingredients. You've got big cardboard discs for all the plates. You've got, a decent amount of cards. You've got very good artwork.
You didn't spring for the metal coins. I saw them today, and it's like,
no, it's too much now. I mean, the metal coins are like €20 for them, and you can live without them. But it looks beautiful on the table from an artwork perspective. So it is basically got Splendor mechanics. I mean, you got to get the poker chips for the ingredients. You cash them in for cards. But with the theme aspect, once you get the cards, it's not simply like Splendor where they add to your ingredients. I mean, you can get stuff for that. But you have to put them in below your board in a slot to get you a bonus. And it's basically your oven. And so the higher up in the oven you put it, the better the bonus. But then the longer it takes for it to come out of the oven and be used for other things. So
it has cool thematic ties. For sure it has thematic ties. That is definitely a hidden gem.
Yeah, because most people are going to think, weird name, cutesy theme and stuff, and we barely heard of this one. But honestly, I bought it, I will keep it, and probably review it as well. It needs talking about, I think, because it does do a very good. It's not like a replacement for Splendor, obviously, because there's more to it in that.
Exactly.
But you got anybody who's into baking. This is just a surefire hit.
I am pretty sure that my girlfriend will love this game.
And I know a friend of mine, in my gaming group, she bakes for us on game nights.
Don't you think I can rearrange this stack so that I can fit Sweet Mess?
For €50, I certainly would.
Yeah, exactly. I think I will do that.
It was good. Oh yeah, love it. But check it out. Right, keep the questions coming. Before your thing, quickly, your hidden gem, unless you want to put rats as it.
No, I mean, hidden gem. I actually, I'm going through the list. If I can't put Sweet Mess on, I am actually going to put Pyramido on.
Peter what?
Pyramido.
Oh, Pyramido, right.
Yeah. The game you were demoing. I mean, that was something that I didn't expect. When you took it out and we started playing, I literally rolled my eyes and I was like, hell. But
you were basically like, this game is not going to be good. I mean, I love it when Luke teaches me games, and but still, it's going to be.
What? Where did that come from?
I'm pretty sure that's what you were thinking.
But the thing was that at the time we did this, you hadn't even read the rules.
No, I said we were going to find this from the rule book.
Yes, and there was one thing in the rule book that was a little bit ambiguous, and we figured it out because it was on page 4 or something.
The rule book had 1 or 2 ambiguous bits, but nothing too bad.
No, nothing too bad. The rule book is actually quite
rules,
good.
Yeah.
Right. But the game is good. So that, I work for a board game store in Iceland. My board game store is more family oriented than board game oriented. So I would actually recommend both Pyramido and Sweet Mess to that store as being a class up games.
Pyramido would be a good game cafe game.
Yes.
Yeah, because it'd be easy to teach and it would work for a few people. So that would be.
Definitely.
Cool. Right. So Sweet Mess is 2 different BG entries. Right. So I saw a picture of Danny Garcia prototype of the board and dice booth called Windmill Valley. I wonder if you get a chance to check it out. I didn't realize that was a thing.
No, me neither.
I haven't really done much with board and dice apart from pick up a review copy of Nucleum. And I'm getting that demo tomorrow from Paul.
And I did my demo yesterday of Nucleum.
I have no idea about that. I mean, Danny Garcia, I'm trying to think of the games. Do I own any of his games? I know I've played some, but I don't think I own any specifically. But I mean,
Nucleum, by the way, the teach by Paul. This is the first time that I demo a scripted game. So we are actually, when we sit down, we are 5 turns into the game, and the first 2 moves are scripted.
This is Nucleum, is it?
Nucleum, it is, yes.
Okay.
So people compare Nucleum to Brass.
And Barrage.
And Barrage.
And apparently Power Grid. Way to pick 3 of my favorite games, people.
Right. So, okay, I can see the connection between both Brass and Power Grid in the fact that you're putting down train lines in both, and you are powering houses in Power Grid. But that's where it stops.
Okay.
I mean, first of all, there are some links between cities are 2 and 3 connections. So,
right.
So, and you just put down 1 link.
Yeah.
And then I can put down another link.
Okay.
And then you can put down the 3rd link. And so by cooperation, we get things that get triggered and we get bonuses and stuff like that. And then we connect the cities. And now we have source line in between them, which is a little bit like Brass.
Right.
But
easier to implement, I guess.
Yes, and it's definitely not as mean as Brass.
Brass can be mean. It was more when they compared it to Barrage, which is literally
Barrage,
which is literally mean on toast.
Yes,
I mean, I'll find out tomorrow, and I'll have to report on that at that stage.
Yeah, I like Nucleum. I bought it. Actually, I bought it before the fact, but
so what's that? You up to anything interesting in the evenings, food, games? We basically, for the most part, just grab some food from a local Subway, pizza, or takeaway.
And Fritzwerken, yeah.
Well, Fritzwerken, Subway, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And apart from doing Paul's Patreon pub thing briefly on Thursday, Fitzpatrick pub. But mainly we just come back to the Premier Inn, get disappointed with the service of having 2 people run the entire hotel because of Germany's employment issues.
It literally takes 30 minutes for 5 people to get beer.
Yeah. And
in Germany.
Yeah, 1 person has to do 3 jobs. It's insane. But yeah, we just come back to the hotel and have a few drinks and play a game.
Play a game and then
go to bed.
Yeah. Tonight I sat and I actually punched five, 6 games punched out. So that is because I have to fly to Iceland and I have limited amount of weight that I can take with me. Right now, my punch boards are weighing over 4 kilograms, and I'm expecting them to go about 7.
Yeah.
So that is definitely something that people should think about when they're traveling.
Oh yeah, you
spend some time punching out your games.
Yeah, because they will weigh less. It's easier in the car in that sense.
Yeah.
Did you get your coffee game? It was called Coffee Rush. No, I didn't because I assumed nobody would care about it.
Right.
I thought it would be a small stand and I'd get it eventually. Apparently, the stand is a lot more spacious than I thought it was. It was a lot more packed than I thought it was, and the game sold out day 1.
Yeah.
And I didn't check it out until the end of day one.
Of day one.
End of day one,
right.
Yeah. So
it was just about when we were leaving.
They did not have a lot of copies, apparently, and I missed out on it. Is the game good? I've no idea. But it was only my number 10 anticipated. I can live without it for now.
I actually tried. I went there today to try to demo it.
Oh, yeah, because you could have still played it.
They have removed it from the demo tables.
Well, that seems daft. I mean, yes, you can't buy it, but you should at least show your game off.
I'm very surprised. So
I've never seen a publisher do that.
If they are not doing another print run of it, I can't for the life of me understand why the hell they did that.
They would do a print run, and she did mention something about like it would be released like a later date or something like that. But to take it off doesn't make sense. I mean, you get some disappointed going, where can we buy it? But it's like still show it off. And that's kind of weird. But yeah, I didn't get Coffee Rush, so I'll just have to make do with it.
2 of us need to do some live collaboration. Yeah, I totally agree. So we might do some more, even though we have to do it over the wire because
that's how we do it. I mean, if you've seen my top 10 ones, they are live stream on StreamYard, which works not on this tablet, but seems to work on my laptop fine. And that will be a proper thing. Oh, well, we'll just have to come up with a top 10 idea.
Well, I have one in mind,
which is
top 10 Lucas Wrong video, collaboration with Paul Grogan.
No.
But no, but definitely
I mean,
yes.
you could technically do top 10 games the other person's wrong about, but then I'd have to know what games you're exactly wrong about. Well, I mean, we've named one in the stream, but you know, I'd still have to do more research on your collection to find out. I'd have to see your Board Game Geek ratings or something. I don't know, to kind of gauge it. But I don't know. I'm sure we can come up with a half interest.
Yeah, I definitely think we could, and yeah, I'm more than happy to
All right,
do some more.
I do need to get those top 10 collaborations back online because
Right.
I've got so many like, oh yeah, this could work, and I just haven't got my arse in gear to sort it out.
What is the best food stand in Essen?
I think you skipped a bit. There's one, but
No.
have either of you tried Pianta Nubo?
Oh, sorry. Pianta Nubo.
Planet Nubo.
Planet Nubo.
Yeah, I don't know why.
No.
I have not, but apparently I do. I might have seen it like around, but honestly, I don't know much about it. It hasn't really cropped up on my radar. Live collaboration. So best food stand. Honestly, I haven't bought any food in Essen because I don't tend to. I survived the entire day on either whatever junk food is in the booth for demoers,
Right.
or I take apples, a bag of trail mix, and some forest fruit, you know, like some apple fruit bars or whatever. And that's literally it. I just survive on that throughout the entire day, eat a ton at breakfast at the Premier Inn, and then we have something in the evening.
I had some chicken noodles from a stand at the Spiel yesterday, and it tasted like it was cooked in brine. It was so salty that it was even I almost couldn't eat it, and I eat fermented shark. So,
and I tried your fermented shark.
Yeah, he didn't do all bad on that. He did not frown or anything.
Yeah, honestly, they were just weird, sometimes tasteless, and mostly I didn't like the pickle.
Right, it's much more the texture than the actual taste on it.
If anything, I winced more trying your Black Death liqueur to go with it. But
yeah, that was
a bit. Yeah. But that was the heart of it. Yeah, but the food wasn't too bad.
Have I seen?
No. Actually, best food stand. So honestly, best food stand, I don't know because I skip them all.
Danny Garcia did Barcelona and Arborea.
Yes, he did do Barcelona because that was recent. And yeah, I forgot he did Arborea, which was half decent. I've only played the prototype of it, but it's at Essen, I think, for sale now.
I was planning on seeing that.
I liked it. Was not enough to buy it, but I do think it is decent.
I would like to actually see it on the table.
It does look nice, yeah. Okay. It's a very colourful game.
Yeah.
I have played Nuke Him twice and on TTS and loved it. Have you seen Kutna Horror?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen it on the table, not played it. It's in my bag because I have got a review copy of it. Yeah, it was number 5 on my list, I think, of anticipated games. And yes, I do want to play that pretty soon after I get back.
I just punched it 10 minutes ago.
You know, you need to sort out your violent tendencies, man.
What?
You're punching a lot of things lately.
Yes. Punching meaning punch out.
Yeah. Me punchy game. Me punchy you, no likey.
So there might be a little bit of lost in translation. Probably one of the funniest things that my friends from Iceland talk about is that when you talk about demo in a game,
yeah,
that is a twofold thing. That is both what we do when we are demoing.
Well, demoing a game or being in a demo of a game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what we do is that we use an Icelandic word and then we translate what we are thinking.
Right.
So the word we are using is actually playtesting.
Right, which to me is
a different thing, which is hopefully done a little bit before they actually go to print. But so punching a game and punching out the game, that is what we are. We just call it punching. That's the Icelandic word. It's an Icelandic slang, and that's what we use. So that's why I use that.
Planter Nubo is about it again, not Planet Nubo. But
okay,
I don't know. I'll have to look it up on my phone and see if I can find it tomorrow, or if I get time, or if I can move around that hall. Maybe I'll save that for Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Luke, anything you've seen that looks like it will be this year's Lacrimosa for a big hype game that you end up really liking? Haha. Well, I mean, Lacrimosa was popular, but I wouldn't call it the biggest game of the year. I mean, so there were some fans. I found it above average, I didn't think it was amazing.
It wasn't that hyped at Essen last year.
It definitely had a lot of people trying to buy it, because I think some people did. But the problem is, every time Devere Games puts out anything, it gets hyped by somebody, which is kind of odd, because, I mean, I know Devere Games puts out a fair few games, but I can't think... They have a lot of nobody cares about these games on their catalogue. They just seem to have this one game that everybody goes mad for, and this year's no different with White Castle. Probably more on that later. But, I mean, anything that's going to be... I mean, ignoring the fact that they mentioned Lacrimosa, a big hype game. So, I mean, all right. So we've done a hidden gem. So let's take that one step forward. So, which game of Essen do you think is going to be this year's like mega hit? Like the one that's going to stand the test of time, is going to get played for a while, is going to get highly rated, maybe top 10 of most people's lists. Which one do you think is going to be Essen's belter? That's a tough one, because I don't think there's many.
No,
I would put down in that list, but because it wouldn't.
I mean, beforehand, Among Cultists is the highest thumbed game on the BGG list.
The thing is, that is so prone to manipulation, and the fact that, I mean, yes, that stand is there. It does not look that packed when I see it, and nobody is talking about Among Cultists. That just feels like a lot of friends and family doing thumbs up.
Well, 1,000. I don't know. I think that is too.
Play testers, who knows? I mean,
but I actually think that there are a lot of people that wanted that. My theory is that people who backed Blood on the Clock Tower, by the way,
you didn't emphasize that enough.
For starters.
For starters, you need at least 2 thumbs. You need actual excrement, and then you might be able to portray Blood on the Clock Tower.
Right.
And I do not care if there are fans in the chat who like Blood on the Clock Tower. I think that game is garbage.
I think it is garbage as well. But I think that some people who liked Blood on the Clock Tower are also going to like Among Cultists. The huge difference is that the player count is only for 4 to 8.
Okay.
And not starting to be good at 9,
like take 4 hours
or take
off 16 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And when I literally sit for 3 hours being a character that kicks in the last 2 rounds, and then they tell me I'm the freaking drunk. So I didn't have any impact in that game whatsoever.
No, that wasn't your role in the game. They were just saying you were drunk.
No, that was literally my role in the game.
They were just saying you're drunk, go up. No, I mean, I'm trying to think of the game, because I think it's like some of the big ones that there are. I mean, Apparie from Stonemaier has a lot of queues for it and has a lot of people buying it. However, that is hype. It got announced literally before the show, and it's a Stonemaier game. He may not be the best designer ever, but this man is a solid businessman. This guy knows business.
This is not his design either.
No,
it's somebody else's.
But I mean,
design.
as a publisher, rather than be a gamer, Stonemaier is basically a good businessman. He knows how to do business tactics. So fair play to him on a corporate level. But this is basically getting generation because it was announced literally before Essen, before anyone could really talk about it. I have no idea if the game's any good. Maybe tomorrow morning before Nuclear, I might be able to camp it and play it. But I've been told it's €90. Screw that.
Yeah,
I am not paying €90 for some gamble on a Stonemaier game, considering that Expeditions was 5 out of 10 for me and still costs more than it should do. I've not had a decent Stonemaier game since Wingspan.
6.5 for me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Decent. It's not.
I hope
I paid for the freaking Ironclad.
I don't think that's going to be like the belter thing. Age of Innovation is going to be popular with a few people, but it is literally just Terra Mystica 1.5 or 2.0. So
1.8. Let's give them that.
All right.
I heard the description of it, and they said that there is enough difference for the hardcore gamers to want. Hardcore Terra Mystica gamers to want to go to Age of Innovation. There is some people who haven't dipped their toe into it and they want to go there, but they did not want to disqualify the people who own Terra Mystica.
I mean that's just the naming thing anyway. But I mean, what I'm saying is that there's fans of that one But I'm just trying to think of like some of the other big games. I mean, there's the White Castle by Devier is a very popular one, but again, I don't think that's going to be like the belter of the year. Kutna Horror at this rate probably won't be. Nucleum, I mean, I can't see it being, although it is very popular with people. I mean, and these sort of games do get a lot of the buzz, so it could be Nucleum. But I won't know until tomorrow.
It could be Nucleum. Nucleum is good. Evacuation
yes. Could be if it's good. I mean, I don't know. It's good.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, no, I haven't tried it, so I'm guessing that also.
Nucleum's a possible bit. Evacuation maybe. To be honest, most of the games I'm more hyped for are the ones that I demoed that aren't coming out this year. The ones that are coming out next year. There's some very good ones on that list. But
yes,
yeah, I'm not aware that there is a particular belter. What time are you going to bed when this finishes, basically, when I can be bothered to turn it off? Because I don't want to stop watching them getting tired, right? We need to keep you awake. Excrement on the clock tower. Yeah, that's a good idea. Ashley, hello dear. Is one of the most frequent commenters.
Okay.
Very supportive. So we've done belter. I don't think there's a belter. Hidden gem. I mean, it's hard to really say worst game. And that seems a little bit hard.
Well, I can. So I sometimes do not agree when Luke starts throwing the garbage sign around, but I do have that.
Listen more.
I am throwing excrement now.
All right, come on. Worst game you played at Essen?
It's not a game. It's an expansion, and it's an expansion for a game you love.
Oh, yes, you've already mentioned this, yeah.
Cascadia Landmarks. Are you freaking kidding me?
This is interesting because I went to the AEG stand and I had a look at Landmarks being played. I read the rule book, so I know how it works. I can see why you might think, okay, not that big a deal or whatever, I can live without it. But you were really hating on this, and I'm curious what's generated the hate part.
First of all, the new bonus cards are just convoluted. There's
the new animal cards.
The new animal cards.
Some are, some aren't. But yes, there are a few.
So the ones we played with were not good.
Right. Okay.
The fact that when you put 5 of the same land types together, all of a sudden you have to generate some bonus card and put a token on it, which will destroy whatever animal you were trying to build up.
Yeah. Well, it gets you bonus points for like more mountains in an area, or whether you've got bears.
So you're switching sometimes 7 to 10 points for free. So it was for me. I don't say this very often because people have even commented on saying Hilmar never like hate the game. This I will never play with again. Yeah. This is, for me, the approach that I saw about how to review it. I would reference C. Garcia's review of the Heaven and Ale expansion.
Right.
A lot of new stuff that convoluted what you were doing, and it ended up just being what the hell.
It was kind of weird. I mean, I'd have to play a thing Boink balance. Rules wise, it didn't seem too much. Although I wouldn't put it in with a brand new game in a Cascadia. Definitely. And honestly, Cascadia is more suited as a gateway game than it is a gamer's game.
Right.
Landmarks makes the game more gamery, which is fine if you are looking for that. But personally, I like Cascadia as a gateway game, which is why I must admit it was number 3 on my anticipated list. Reading it in detail, looking it up close, and hearing what you're saying, it's like, it is a worry. I mean, I'm not sure I'd want to pay 30 euros to get it.
Another approach that I can take to compare it with is that new Azul crap they came out with, the Queen's...
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, I don't like any of the...
No, the latest one, the 4th one in the series.
Queen's Garden?
Queen's Garden.
Oh, Green Garden?
It was just... A lot of so you can do this, but only if you can do this, and only this, and not this, and not this, and for the whole game, I won the game by 20 some points, and I wouldn't be able to explain the rules for anybody after the fact.
That's true. We got there. Are you having fun? We are. I expected Luke to be cradling his copy of the Ark Nova Marine Worlds expansion. Well, you have a copy over there, and I must admit, I was tempted to go fetch it. Yeah. Both of us, I've got a copy from my mate at a gaming cafe as well. Wait, give me one of those. Right. So, yeah. So I'm going to do the rest of the stream like this. Yes, I've got my copy, and boy, am I going to be playing this as soon as I get back, practically, even if I've got to play the game solo. This I've been gagging for.
Yes.
It's going to happen. That's
for sure.
But best cider, I don't really... Germany doesn't really have its own cider, and if it is, it's nothing particularly great. I mean, I've drunk Snakebite at Fitzpatrick's just because it reminds me of my student days when I used to live on the stuff. Yeah, so that's all right. But yeah, I don't come to Germany for the cider. I usually just come for wine or beers.
Weiss beer.
Yeah, Weiss beer, but even then, that's just more of a when in Rome, do as the Romans do type thing. I mean, I would rather drink the wine there than I would drink the Pilsners. So there's only so much alcohol in Germany I'm a massive fan on, because let's face it, German Weiss beer is okay, but now I have been to Bruges and drunk Belgian beer. And I'm sorry, the Belgians do it better by a long shot.
By a long shot, yeah.
So it's like, I'm trying to drink anybody's beer, and that's like, well, yeah, but Belgians taste better. So that's just the way it is. So I mean, the worst one. I mean, I'm not going to include Brussels because that's just a reprint of an old game that I wasn't a fan of anyway, so that's not a big deal. The only one I can think of that I've sort of demoed where I've gone, oh, that was a bit not as good, and I don't know if it's fair because I'm not a fan of real-time games, except for XCOM, but Tipio has a one on their Kickstarter coming up called Firefighters on Duty, and I tried to demo I tried to demo it earlier, and the teacher had to give us this massive overload of information, including the wrap-up phase for each round, and then had to go away, like say, oh, let me know if you got any questions now. And it's like, well, how am I supposed to remember how to go through all that stuff at the end of the round off by heart when there's no rule book there? So it's like, that was a bit mental. But basically, it's a co-op firefighting game, which would normally be fantastic. I love Flashpoint Fire Rescue, but it's real time. You've got the vehicles on the map, you've got the various fires and civilians to rescue, and you do it by dice. It's a dice speed rolling game, and I mean, the game could be fun for some people, but I do not like speed games. I do not like real-time dice rolling because it's just luck all over the place, and it's just frustrating, and I don't like them. XCOM speed thing does not involve dice. XCOM works with that phase. It's mostly cards and stuff, manipulation on the board. It's not dice rolling until you wrap things up.
Right.
So that's probably been the demo I've had so far, because honestly, all the other demos I've had have been pretty solid.
Right. I demoed very quickly the Orient Express game that is coming on Kickstarter in November, I think. They had some. It's a pretty amazing. It's a life-size train, and it's a Cthulhu game, so that excites me, and I think that is definitely not a hidden gem because it's not here. It's just a demo for a game that is only a prototype.
Yeah.
But I think I am going to follow that even closer now than I was doing before. So that I think that could be a good game to watch for next year.
Was the Ravensburger How was the Ravensburger booth? Oh, was the line for Lorcana crazy? Yeah, every time I walk past...
it's not crazy. It's bonkers.
It's always a Bond line. I mean, I've probably seen longer at the Games Expo, perhaps, but then to be honest, I'm looking at that line as I walk through the entrance hall to get to Hall 3.
Right.
And it's still long at that point. God knows what it's like during the con.
I was at Hall 6 just before 2:00, just before I had to go there just before we started demoing.
Yeah.
And I would spend the whole day there in line, try that. That is, and Lorcana isn't even coming to Iceland. Their supply line is so bad that they have just flatly denied that they are ever, at least, for
going to Iceland. And I've given my thoughts on the game in the podcast. an average game at best. It borrows heavily from so many other games.
Right.
Any unique thing it has is like a gimmick at best. It's not that interesting and not something that I would expect to see grown adults, chucking away loads of money on a trading card game system.
Have you ever met Magic the Gathering players?
Yeah, but Magic the Gathering Set in Stone is a solid game, but yes, people do put too much money on that. But still, a brand new one that's like just there. When I see them chucking away so much money on this stuff, and it's like, do you not have more in like better things to spend the money on than booster packs? I don't like the CCG model, period.
No, I me neither. I'm very much more LCG man.
Yeah, LCG is for the win.
Yeah.
But I want to mention some of the other stuff that downloaded that. So, I mean, probably the highlight, like the best demo game I've played. Ooh. I did like Scholars of the West South Tigris. That was pretty sweet. But I kind of had a feeling I would like that. Best one, though, in terms of overall demo, and I'm not just talking the game, I'm talking the experience as well and the people I was with. Easily Galactic Cruise Drown the Games. That one has the, like, beta version of the game that here to play, demo. And you play about, I don't know, like a few rounds or whatever. Well, there's not really rounds, but you play like up to a point. They got a scripted point.
Okay.
And it is basically the best way to describe the game is if you had a Lacerda that is not a Lacerda and not by Eagle Griffin Games, because it feels like a Lacerda in terms of its weight level, its look, because of Tools artwork on it, even though it was a beta version. The actions giving you bonuses, how you can interact with others via what you're doing. It's got feelings of Kanban with the whole thing of you're trying to impress the corp as a Galactic Cruise CEO as opposed to impressing your boss in the car factory. It's got elements in the Gallerist with how you spend reputation in that, but it still has a relatively strong theme with mechanics that are not stupidly complex, but the interplay is the heavy part.
Remind me to go there on Sunday.
You need to check this game out. I think you will love it.
Yeah.
But it was already like a fun game to play. Like I thought, these are cool mechanics. The theme's great. I'm having a laugh. And when I say the theme is strong, I mean the theme is pretty strong. Because yes, you got impress your boss and fulfill goals and get the cruise, get people on it like family members and chilled members like hipsters or whatever, and forget the other type, the fun adrenaline junkies and stuff like that. So there is some theme in there. But one aspect that before the game finished that I thought was just brilliant, like this was almost on par with the Anachrony time travel debt thing, was when you finally launch your ship and it's got all the stuff on it, right? The one that you pick, the route it's going on, has different stops. And some of them are specific to the people that you've got on your ship, in which case you get the bonuses if you've got those people on the ship. But then you've got these bits that are just space days, like a sea day on a cruise. And I thought that's like, your worker is taken up as the pilot for that whole cruise. So you're one down, one worker as a result. So I thought, okay, that's it. But what happens is on those days, depending which people you put on it, they effectively go shopping, and it even has a shopping trolley symbol next to where it is on the board and that. And they get you different bonuses depending on whether it's the family or the hipsters and that. But it's basically saying that when you've got a spare day in space, they go shopping, spend money, and you get bonuses for it. And I just thought that didn't even need to be in the game, but that is such a good thematic touch because that is basically a sea day on a cruise. Right. And I just thought, oh, that's great. Somebody thought about this, and I'm getting more rewards for a cool reason. But it wasn't even just the game, though. I had 3 people there, some who recognized me, I think, from the blog and that, but we just had a blast. We were bantering with each other like crazy, dissing each other's like corp standards, nicking each other's stuff. That was great. But also, I'm mind blanked with his name, but he acts like a complete loon when he's like demoing games, but in a good way. Like he cracks jokes. He's constantly hyper. He's got all the like passion behind it. I feel so mad. I mind blanked on his name, but I mean, you can't miss him when he's at the Drown the Games lot, but just all that combination just made for a really solid demo. And when this comes on Kickstarter, I want to back it. Okay. Like, forget trying to get a review copy of this. I just want to back it because I know I'm going to love this game. I don't know if anyone's responded on that front, but no other questions on that front.
Okay.
I mean, I need to grab some more fluids, but I mean, have you got something that's that belter, like pure demo that you loved, or have you spent too much time shopping?
Well, I did spend a lot of time shopping. I was able to get Ticket to Ride, the
Legacy.
Legacy game. I'm very excited to play that. But no, actually, tomorrow is gonna be. I'm planning to go for the Scholars. I am planning on Sunday to hang around at the Minecraft booth to get Perseverance episode 3.
Yeah, you want to do that, and I'm hoping maybe to get Septima played. We'll
Right.
see.
Well, actually, I'm hoping we just go there together and hang around, and hopefully, because we know
Well, it
courtesy
depends.
that
I've got a choice. I either do that or do a apiary to find out what on earth is going on with it. I don't know if I want to give it the time of day,
Why?
though. That's what I mean. I don't know if I want to give it the time of day. I might just join you in September,
Yeah,
frankly, 'cause I'm more interested in
no,
that.
even me being a Stonemeyer fan, I'm like,
When it comes out on retail, I'll try and get a
Right.
review copy from Kinder or something. That'll probably be the easier method and give it a try then. But yeah, I just got no care for it.
it's I saw it. They were actually playing it downstairs
Yeah,
tonight, and I was like, okay, but where's the
Where's the USB?
where's the fun? Where's the excitement factor here?
Hype. Oh, it is.
Exactly. It was. I wanted it. I wanted to take a look.
Late announcement and a couple of the hype generators going mad for it. That's what it
And
is every single time.
I walked past it, and I was like, no, I'm picking up games that I can.
Yeah.
It's going to be harder for me to get because I know Apiary is going to be at the shelves of both. We have 2 gaming stores in Iceland. That's more what you have in London.
No, he does a few in London.
2.
I thought there was 1, 2. Drafts and one other.
The orc thing, downtown.
Orc's Nest or something.
Orc's Nest, and the one up north. That's it.
To be fair, this is a city. This is your country.
Yes, but a city of 8 million people has as many board game stores as a city of 180,000. There's a board game store up north, so that's the 3rd one in Iceland.
Well, but
So,
I mean, bits of London I wouldn't want to see a game store in anyway. So there's that. Played Galactic Cruiser Origins, loved it, very Lacerda-ish. Yep, that is basically the way to describe it.
Right.
Trying to think of other demos of note. I mean, I don't know, where's my phone? The easiest way is for me to look through my photo gallery. So,
Right.
So,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I already
That
mentioned
is
sleep.
true.
So I already mentioned, I mean, I'll go through a bunch quick, like a rapid roundup because we do need to get some sleep.
A little bit maybe.
Answer that. So that was Brussels. So what else have I looked at? I'm just going to go rapid fire through the demos I've done here. So, what was it? Path of Civilization, played it, demoed it, kind of like it. Card game, civilization themed game. You choose a bunch of technology cards. You have to bin one every round, but you get one every round, so you're kind of slowly leveling up, trying to deal with events. And much like Seven Wonders, the different colors of cards are like military, culture, science, that kind of deal. It's an interesting game, but I only managed to get a very brief discounted, like a very low discount on it for a review copy, but it may lead to greater things. I'm interested to give it a more plays. I already said about Sweet Mess. Unconscious Mind, I have demoed again at Fantasia Games.
Okay.
I liked it the first time, felt it needed cleaning up in some areas. They have cleaned it up in a few of those areas, although that's mainly all they've done. But I welcome those changes. The game is still pretty solid, and I would certainly look forward to this coming out. I certainly didn't back it on Kickstarter for that much money, but yeah, man, do I want those ink things and a few of those deluxe components, so they are pretty sweet. I did also try the Unconscious Dream World, though, the card game spin-off.
Yeah.
And there's a problem with it. And fair play to the girl. She did a good job treating her. She was a lovely girl, but she pretty much unsold me on the game after the first sentence.
Okay.
She said, has anybody played Six Nimmt?
Oh.
It's a different take on Six Nimmt, and it still has the same problems with randomness, length, and what do I care factor that one did, except it has pretty artwork. it was okay, but a lot of the times you're just playing cards and flipping them over and hoping things go well for you because you don't have enough information to make a decent choice. It's gambling for a decent length. So yeah, I bounced off Unconscious Mind, Dream Worlds, or whatever pretty fast. Archaeologic deduction game. I'm hopefully getting a review copy and speaking to them on Sunday about it, but deduction game, much in the same vein as Search for Planet X with the whole time track thing. But instead of trying to figure out a code or a location, you've basically got Tetris pieces for your board with symbols on them, and you're trying to find out the exact alignment and formation that they do by using questions and various stuff. It's kind of what you've seen before in a lot of other deduction games, but it was still fun. But we'll see more about it. I've already mentioned Sweet Mess. Galactic Cruise I've already mentioned. What else is on here? Scholars of the South Tigris would probably be the other one. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to getting it in November on that side. It's pretty solid. You know, you got to be good at color mixing because it uses a lot of that. But it's not as sandboxy as Wayfarers, and for that reason, I think I prefer Wayfarers. But Scholars is still pretty solid. It's still meaty. It's a little more restrictive in that you do need to do bits and bobs, but there is a lot of options of how to play with a few little cool tactics that you can throw in the mix. But yeah, it's still pretty good and solid and thinky. I mean, at this rate, we only played part of a game, but as much as I only really like Raiders from the first trilogy, and I only like Viscounts and Architects from the second trilogy, I want this trilogy to go free for free, and so far it is at least looking 2 for 2. Right. So if they can knock it out of the park with the third one, you know, I will have obviously I like this one more, this one second, and this one third, but I want to like this whole trilogy. So don't muck it up with the third one.
Look is wrong with Paladins.
I totally get why people would put that number one in that, but it was too dry and too samey for me. You know, pick 2 colors, spam them like crazy, get points at the end. I mean, it's fun in some respects.
Did you try it with the expansion?
No, and I will try it with the expansion if I get taught it, because I hear that gives more interesting options. And
it does, and it reduces a lot of the color spamming that the
first one pretty much forces you to do.
Right.
All right, yeah, but as I say, I have said on air before that I will try it with the expansion. I just obviously I don't know anybody who's got the expansion or B has taught me it that way.
Well, I will take it to QuickCon. We will play it there.
Cool, that'd be pretty sweet. Any cards, small box games of note? Problem is we haven't played many of them because I've got Forest Shuffle in the bag, still boxed. I found something called what was it called? Magic House Shadow something? I can't remember. Something that Empress Force come out, like a micro social reduction game. I've got a trick-taking game called Tricky Badger that someone told me about on comments. Right. It was like €12. I've bought that. I haven't played it yet.
I saw WTF from Friedman Freeze.
You mean FTW?
FTW, sorry.
Yeah, for the win.
For the win.
I don't know if that's any good.
I just saw it played tonight, and I was like,
Any other card? I mean, there's not a lot of. I mean, actually, no, tell a lie. There's a lot of small card games there, but none that have been particularly hyped up, and none that I've necessarily grabbed apart from Forest Shuffle and Tricky Badger. So I look forward to trying those out for the most part. What was it? Small box games of note. Most surprising, although another one I've technically played and not demoed, that White Castle game I was playing downstairs earlier. I wanted to get a demo of those 2 Devia games, Free Wing Circus and White Castle, because everybody keeps banging on about them, and yet I couldn't see at first, particularly for White Castle, what everybody was going on about with visually. So I thought, fine, try and get a demo. No chance. So €30, just buy it. It's cheap enough. Decided tonight I was just going to take it out of the box, unbox it, teach 2 people from the rulebook, and we were just going to play a game with the 3 of us. And didn't take too long. We're talking 90 minutes, an hour and 3/4 doing that from the rulebook. It's only about an 80-minute odd game. And I must admit, I expected to dislike it. It's actually pretty solid. I don't think it's as amazeballs as everybody is trying to say, like the best thing ever since sliced bread. But it did surprise me about the fact that I actually quite like it. You do only get 9 turns in the game, which I thought was going to be insane. But it's about chaining stuff. You do one thing that chains into another, and you are trying to make your turns fulfilling. And when you do pull it off, it is very satisfying. I do think that even though the rules aren't that complex, I wouldn't want to put a light gamer in front of it though, because if you trip up early, you're going to stay tripped up. You will not pull it back. And there is a bit of I suppose a little bit of a rich get richer thing, but more of sort of, I can pick out, like, at the end of round 2, I expect to know who's going to win.
Okay.
And it kind of felt a bit like that as well. But it is only 9 turns and it is only about 80 minutes. So it's not too bad with that compared to a 3-hour game. But the actions in it are quite cool with moving the dice around. The values matter whether you pay or receive money. The color matters for triggering actions. You can stack them on people's on people's die for that reason. And there's just a lot of cool combos that you can pull off. I need to play it some more, including solo, but I was surprised it was going to be as good as it actually was. Let's see. We'll wrap up in a minute soon. So I'm just looking at.
So we have. I still haven't heard anything yet about the Feldgame Civolution.
Only because I'm running out of water and my throat's going.
Right. Have you seen that?
I have seen it because when I went round the centre with Paul on Wednesday, we were meeting up with his buddies basically.
Right.
And we noticed Civolution, which he had really high on his list when we were doing our pre-Essen stream.
Right.
Of course, it's Stefan Feld. I couldn't give a monkeys, but. I've seen it out. It's there on the table. I don't know exactly how it plays or anything. We just saw some people sort of setting it up and that. And I just sort of looked at it and went, okay, it's a little prettier than most Feld, but it still looked like a typical Feld.
Not a high saddled full.
No, it's not, but still, it was a little bit more. But again, it just looked like, oh, look, this looks like another smorgasbord of get victory points by weird methods. That's not no theme. I mean, and it certainly doesn't look like there's a theme there.
Okay.
Is it any good? I don't know. Paul's probably your best bet to ask because if he has played it, he's probably going to like it.
I might go for it on Sunday as well.
Yeah, you might play it at some point. I ain't going to go near it, so that's not a factor.
I have trouble gaining interest in pulling Red Cathedral off the shelf.
Yes, this is why people were going on about White Castle, because I think the designer did Red Cathedral, and Red Cathedral is fine.
It's a fun game, yeah.
I like the game mechanically. I don't like the way it plays out, because this is a game I expect to be no more than 60 minutes because of what it's entailed, and I do like the mechanics in it, but my God, when I play it with 4 players, I want to gouge my eyes out. Because
you play with a lot of people who play slow.
No, I'm sorry. Red Cathedral is AP inducing.
Yeah, I know, but still,
you roll the dice, and you've got those cool things. But you have to know what is going to happen with all of those particular dice you can use. And because they've got a lot of interplay with other things, it's not something you can figure out in 10 seconds.
No, but
it causes a lot of AP, and it's not just.
I've never played with 4-player. I played 2 and 3-player, and it
3 might vary, but I could see myself loving it more with 2. I only played it a couple of times. I don't think I did a full review on it. I think I just played it, but they were 4-player games. It could be a lot better with 2, and I reckon it probably is because it will go at a quicker pace.
Right,
but 4 has the problem of not only the dice being in certain things, but also because there's 4 of you, it's more chaotic. Which means you can't think before your turn starts. And so that leads to it. I mean, the AP length combat. So like I said, I like it mechanically.
Okay.
But it's definitely got a player cap for me. So I wasn't exactly going mad for White Castle purely on that. Free Winged Circus, I have no idea if I like that or not. It looks nice, and I do have... Oh, actually, yes. There's Free Winged Circus in that bag.
I think so.
This I ought to show off before we set it up, actually. Well... Yeah, so I have no idea if I'm going to like this game, okay? I mean, Fabio Lopiano design, fair enough. You know, Remo Consoldori, I don't know. Ido Valls is the artist. Does look very nice. It's pretty cool. And David Turksley, by the looks of it, did the solo mode.
Oh, really? Has he done any solo modes before? Like, he does
his name's on the box. Will it be stupidly complicated with a massive flowchart? I don't know, but we'll see. But what I have got, I haven't unboxed it yet. But when I bought the game, was it €35 or something like that? The designer and the artist were there at the time doing signings and that, and not with a massive queue, which is kind of weird because normally they generate more of a queue. But the designers basically signed the back. So I'm trying to do this like as a kind of reveal. But yeah, you can sort of see there in the corner.
You have to show it all. It's too dark.
Well, I mean, they've written there. You won't be able to read it in that, but there's design of that. But the artist was there as well, and he had like some paint easels and bits like that. That he was taking a good 10 minutes to draw whatever he was doodling on the box and that. And bear in mind, he's doing this for everybody who comes up. So this guy loves his art, right? This is what he's drawn. That that is literally what he doodled in there with his like little paint easel and that, which is brilliant. I do. This is why you discount AI art and go for proper artists. But I just thought that was a cool thing to get in the box. So I hope I like this game, because otherwise it's going to be a shame to have to get rid of that thing. But
You got this too.
yeah,
Out on a whim.
what?
You bought it without testing.
Yeah, this is bought without testing because I do like Empires of the North and these sort of things. If this is a, 30 to 60 minutes, standalone, so I don't have to deck build or anything like that. The mechanics sounded interesting from when Joanna, told me a bit about it.
Okay.
And it was cheap. I think it was like €30 or something like that. And I just thought, you know what, I'll give this one a try. It's not, it's not a review copy, but worst case of the worst, it's €30. But the mechanics sounded quite cool, and it's kind of just based on the pedigree of the Imperial Settlers universe.
Okay.
Will it work? I don't know, but it's on the list.
Cool.
It was an honorable mention on my other list, so I didn't expect. Jealous, any small cut games will soon replace the phrase solo mode with Turksy mode.
Right.
Well, it's getting to that point, isn't it?
It's getting to that point. I think there are 2 or 3 people who do solo modes.
David Digby and David Turksy are the two main ones.
Yeah.
Trying to think of names of any other people, but yeah, it's definitely those two that do the majority of them.
Definitely, yeah.
Which is fair enough. Like I said, they're good at what they do, but it's a different strokes for different folks thing. Because, like I say, Turksy will do a lot of the very complicated game solo modes, and they are very difficult to do solo modes for. But they also end up being massive flowchart, very complex AI automata, like multiplayer simulation solos, which are fun, but take a lot of effort and too much for me to pilot in a game.
It's my ADHD is too severe to be able to. I get lost like 3 steps in where the hell I am, or was I doing, or they doing, or where am I?
But when he does some simple solo modes, they are really good. He did a tiny one for On the Underground, I think, along with Sebastian Billy or something like that, and it's a brilliant solo mode for that game. There are some, and he does do some like good simple ones in that, but there are some heavy ones I still like from his stuff. He does a very good solo mode for Kanban.
Okay.
Kanban's solo mode is very good in the new one. It's not the easiest thing to pilot, but compared to his other stuff like Perseverance and stuff like that, oh my god, it's a cakewalk. Okay. And that's designed very well and gives a very good multiplayer feeling game. Jonathan's just reminded us, third one put on the list, Automata Factory.
Right, yes, that is true.
They do some, and they're all right. Some work better than others.
I can manage them. These are, for my brain, intuitive. Although, since we have opened that can of worms, actually the best solo experience I've had is Legacy of You.
Okay.
Having something, and it's the same with Hadrian's Wall, that you are doing something with, you gain some resources, then you do this for other resources, and you are constantly switching out, a yellow worker for a blue worker, or a gray cube for others.
Yeah.
And when you run out, my turn is over. And we reset and we do it again.
It's one that I've had the opportunity to buy it, but again, it's one of these, great, I got to commit to another solo campaign thing. But
the campaign is not that rich anyway that you can just play the game.
All right. Maybe it's one I'll revisit because obviously I do like Garfield Games stuff. But I've tended to steer more away from that new line of, it started off with the Raiders of Scythia thing, and then we got Legacy of You, and then we got the Ezra stuff. I've kind of veered away from that side artwork-wise of their things and kept with the standard stuff. But I don't know, at some point it'd be good to visit that game if I can. Spirit Island works so well solo without any automata, but the thing is with Spirit Island is yes, I love playing that game solo, but what you got to understand is that game is a co-op, and a solo co-op game is basically just co-op with one player.
Right.
You don't change the rules barely at all. I play Sentinels the Multiverse solo, but all it is me controlling 3 people at the same time. And solo mode is the same. I can control 1 spirit. If I can figure out my brain can muster it, I can do 2. But that's all it is. It doesn't really change the fundamentals of the game, and that's the same with most co-ops. Granted, probably most of my favorite solo modes are co-ops. We have Frostpunk, we have Deep Rock Galactic, we have Spirit Island, we have Sentinels, we have the LCGs, Marvel Champions, and that. All of them can be played solo, but other than the occasional rules tweak, they are basically the same game multiplayer.
Right.
So, yes, they are more fun, but it's not like I can consider that, oh yeah, this is that creator of a solo mode. Because honestly, the solo mode doesn't even take any effort to put in the games. It's already there.
It's clear. Yeah.
So it works like that. And funny enough, Deep Rock Galactic is at Essen as well. Although they keep saying, oh, we got the 2 expansions coming on Kickstarter, but there isn't really any stuff apart from what's in a cabinet there, which is a bit of a shame. I mean, yes, it's not come to Kickstarter yet, but the people are nice, and I did have a good chat with them on the press event for what they got planned, and they are very passionate about the game. And apparently, Mood Publishing is about 10 minutes down the road from Ghost Ship Games, who make the video game.
Okay.
So they are pretty close by, hence they got talking on that front. So
awesome.
But that's more than another time, because at some point I will get round to reviewing that Deep Rock Galactic game, if only that in the hope that I can sort of sing the praises of it, because I do, spoiler alert, it is a very good game, but also it would be nice to do some stuff with the expansions in the future. Anyway, I am struggling to get my rubber, and this is the last of the water I can get out of the kettle after boiling it.
I think we just also, it's almost 1:30 in the morning, so
yeah, so bed it is, and I need to get up earlier as it is. So yes, I am going to be flanging tomorrow, but then to be honest,
my alarm is going to go off very early tomorrow. I have breakfast reservation at 8:15 near the Mesa, so
okay, well, I mean, that's fine. I mean, if I get up early, it's fine. I need to, but
okay,
yeah, let's wrap this one up, guys. So thank you
thank you
people
so much.
Thanks for watching. If I get a chance to do one of these before the end, maybe I will, but I don't think there's really. I mean, tomorrow we could be playing games with like Sarah Shah and a couple of others, so I don't think I'll have much time.
I think we might, and if we focus, we might do a little bit of wrap up on Sunday night.
True, yeah. We could do a Sunday one. Yeah, that's doable. And when we get home, myself and Paul, I'm sure we'll do one on his stream, on his channel. So yeah, there'll be a camera. Yeah, we could probably do an Essen roundup on Sunday. There's not much point. Doing one every day, I think, is pointless. So doing one on Sunday would be quite cool. Again, I'll see if I can do something other than YouTube Studio for this, but needs must when the microphone wasn't working with StreamYard. We'll cross that bridge later. But anyway, thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
We'll catch you soon.
Good night.
Yeah, good night. Please.